Hi, Levi. This is Dad. I wanted to show you from the email I sent you how to navigate. It might be a little different because you're on your phone, but if you click on this link here that says Explore Now, it'll bring you to this page. It's going to take a while to load because I'm on the screen share software. So if you look in the far left-hand corner, I'm on this page. You probably don't see all of these pictures because I already opened it up, but you should see Linda and Phil's picture here, and then a pull-down menu where it says Martin Scobie Family. Click on that, and there's a couple things you can see. If you go to the third one that says Family Group Sheet, and then click on Family Group Sheet, you'll come to a page like this, and it shows, my dad on the left, my mom on the right. It shows their parents. So my dad's parents are Claire Valine, his mom, and Ralph Martin. Now, I kind of wanted to tell you a history about this. So my dad's dad is Ralph Anthony Martin, but he died when my dad was, I think, 10. So my grandmother, Claire, when he died, she remarried Ralph Anthony Martin's brother, and his name was John Martin. But my dad has two brothers, but the only son that was from Ralph Anthony Martin was my dad. So the only genetic line between Ralph Anthony Martin Sr. is really just you and me, because my dad's two brothers were sons from Ralph Anthony Martin's brother, John. So I just kind of wanted to give you that history so that you understand that you and I are the only genetic lineage to Ralph Anthony Martin, which he's from Portugal. So he's full-blooded Portuguese, and so is my dad. But anyway, so you and I are the only genetic line to Ralph Anthony Martin. So that being said, if you click on Profile, you'll go to my dad's side, and you'll get to a page like this, which gives you life story, facts, and gallery. If on facts, which is the page we're on now, it just has random facts like birth certificate, birth of half-sister Arlene. Remember, it's his half-sister because my grandmother married Ralph Anthony Martin's brother, John. And then residence, birth of half-brother, residence, just things like that, just random facts. And you can click on these and you'll get to whatever that page represents. So for this one is just a birth line, which came from the Census Bureau. So if you click on life story, you'll have a brief story about my dad, when he was born, things like that. If you scroll down, you'll see kind of a lineage where we've lived. And if you scroll down from there, there's more random facts. There's a picture of my dad in a goat cart, in the back of a goat, not go-kart, but goat cart, where it's literally a cart drawn by a goat. And just there's a picture of him in front of on a horse in front of T Street. So that's kind of a baby picture. And you scroll down, there's like First Communion, when my dad was confirmed by the Catholic Church. He actually lived in Atascadero in 1935. So it's really kind of interesting stuff. More about his half-brother, confirmation card of when he was confirmed at the Catholic Church. Just a whole bunch of stuff you can read about. Here's a couple of him and his buddies when he was in the service. So he was part of the you'll see on some discharge papers that he was part of the Navy, which was part of the Coast Guard. Coast Guard at that time was a branch of the Navy, and he was actually on a boat called the USS, I forget, but you'll see papers on that.
Sacramento, right?
So if you go to,
USS
that was Life
Sacramento.
Story. If you go to gallery, there's a bunch of stuff in the gallery. And this is pictures that you can click on. Each one of these you can click on and it'll give you information. These are his discharge papers, for example,
So you
when the war was over.
weren't really talking to him, huh?
Anyway, if you open this, I think you can expand it by hitting the plus button. Yeah. So these are discharge papers when he was in the Navy. If you look up, you scroll up, you'll see that right here it says from the U.S. Navy Coast Guard. You hit the back button, go back. And there's more pictures in the gallery. Here's a class photo of him and his buddies in the Coast Guard. Click on that. You can see that's him right there. And these are some of his buddies in the Navy. There's a whole bunch of pictures like that, and you can look at all of them. There's each one of them kind of tells a story. He has a letter from Truman during the war. President Truman was, of course, the president then. And I haven't really looked at this, so it's looks like a generic letter to all of the men who served in the war that time. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. Now, also, if you go and you click above, that was just this family group sheet. You can also do a view of the tree. This will show you the tree on both sides. I was looking at it, so I'd have to go all the way to the top, which I think is somewhere here. This looks like I clicked on my mom's side. Look, there's a guy named Herbert Levi Scobie on my mom's side. Tree overview. Trying to get back to see what this is. Yeah, this is all the Scobie side. You can find a person, last view, let's see. There must be a way to get back to the original tree. Or a back button. I can click this here. That might take me back to the two originals. Just a lot of stuff. Here is my dad's side, which is a tree view. You can look at that view, which is more of a tree that you're probably used to seeing. You can move it around, go back to the top. I think we're way in the middle here. Oh, it's down here. I think this is where you can go to different versions of the tree. You'd have to kind of mess around with it. Wow, it's a pretty big tree. You just kind of have to follow it. This is my grandma, my dad's mom. Go over here. maybe if I click here on Ralph Martin, back to profile, and it all goes back to him. So kind of mess around with that. And then there's some tabs up here. I can go to the home page, trees, manage trees. Haven't really messed with that too much. I think if I hit, maybe if I hit the back button there and go back. Yeah. Anyway. So it kind of all starts right here in the upper left-hand corner. You have tree overview, media gallery, and family group sheet. Family group sheet is the third one, and that's where you can get my dad's side and my mom's side here. So, and then his mom, and then his dad. This is the first Ralph Anthony Martin. My dad's the second Ralph Anthony Martin, and I'm the third. Here underneath are your 4 aunts, my 4 sisters, and me. This is actually my high school picture, which is pretty scary. And here's you and Tenny right in here. Click on that. There we go. So that's all under the tree view. Which is pretty cool. Family group sheet. And then that's this part here. So take a look. Let me know if you can log in and you see this, but it's all within this section here in the left-hand corner. Just go to View Tree, Tree Overview, Media Gallery. Okay? Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.